right.
Gates open.
So what I'll do is I'll wait. Minion, you go ahead and hit the radio. Shut the front door.
Yeah, just keep going. We
All
can
right.
get doors behind you guys.
All right.
I'll get doors. I'll get doors if you guys go out.
So here, all
Holy
right.
fuck.
So you guys don't get in mine. Get in theirs. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay local, in case Rusty can get back in, since I've got better driving skill than anybody, and I'll just stay local and keep driving
Oh,
around.
yeah, I'd say just go back up to the hill. Like,
Yep.
oh wow, brutal.
Whoa.
It's they're gonna be crying.
So, one of the biggest challenges that orgs can face, and I'm not just talking about individual players, but that orgs can face, is the fact that we've been waiting for Star Citizen for so long. I mean, for a really, really long time. And you might look at the roster of members of your org, people who joined your org maybe in 2013, 2014, and such, who were expecting Star Citizen to be around a lot sooner. Unfortunately, that just was not the case. And it can be really difficult to tie these groups together, to form any kind of real bonds, because generally the comment that you're always going to see is, well, as soon as Star Citizen becomes a playable game, I'll be around, but don't kick me from the org, that sort of thing. Our solution to this perpetual problem has been survival games. A lot of these feature some fairly harsh rules, and they require teamwork and coordination. And while there may not be spaceships involved, it becomes something of an analog for some of the realities that players will face in Star Citizen, and it forces players to coordinate their activities together, and it also allows you to figure out who works well together and who doesn't, which is also oftentimes something that you would like to find out, where there's personality conflicts sooner rather than later. And it's fun. It's if you've ever played any of these survival games, whether it's Scum, whether it's Conan Exiles, whether it's Ark, all listing off the ones that we've mainly played over the years, when you get onto some of these, public PvP servers, it can be very harsh if you're on your own. But when you have a coordinated team and everyone, basically takes up a role. For instance, here I am providing cover over the front of their base while our guys are using grenades to blow open the side door. It's not the most exciting role, but, this is my part to play in the whole thing. And this is why, we do these things. We all want to play Star Citizen. We all own, tons of ships in Star Citizen. But when you try to log into Star Citizen and the game keeps kicking you and you're unable to, play together for long periods of time, we generally move off to other games. It doesn't mean that we don't like Star Citizen, doesn't mean that we hate Star Citizen. But what it does mean is that we still want to play together. We still want to enjoy video games together. And right now, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in Star Citizen, but it is not a fully polished and finished product. And in fact, truthfully, neither is this game, Scum, which we find kind of hilarious that it bears our name. But we it's complete enough that we're able to enjoy it, and we have a lot of fun with these kind of harsher, more realistic rule sets that games like this often provide. The harsh rule set in many PvP survival games, these kind of team-based games, they can also be a good warning sign as to who's going to have a meltdown when bad things happen. we've all been in that situation, right? We've all had to play with that guy or that girl, whoever, who, when something bad happens to them, when, something, they get caught, they make a mistake or whatever, and all of a sudden they start bashing the game, and they're, oh my god, it's hackers, it's aimbots, it's cheaters, it's all this stuff, it's not my fault, of course not. And you're still trying to recover a situation, or you're still trying to coordinate a team activity and trying to make the best out of possibly a bad situation. But this person is just on voice comms, just flat out having a millennial meltdown, and you can't really, or you feel that you can't really turn to them and just say, look, shit happened, shut up. We're still trying to recover this situation, or we're trying to make the most out of this situation. It's important to know and identify these individuals, fairly early on, so you can get rid of them and not have them in your org. And to be perfectly honest, these kind of harsh rule sets, they really work at revealing that sort of thing, Like, we have members all the time who will say, holy shit, that guy just shot me from way the hell over there. But, the members we have aren't the people who are going, well, this server's full of hackers. I quit. No one's breaking their keyboards or flipping out. Everyone's going like, oh man, we got to coordinate. We got to go after these guys. We got to bust into their base, and we got to steal all their shit. Those are the types of people that, you kind of want in your org. Maybe not, you're not going to play as pirates, but you want people who are going to bounce back, who are able to recover when a situation, turns sour. And these guys' loot room was epic, by the way. And we got it all. But, you want people who can, not just sit there or log off and, start yelling or screaming in voice comms. You want people who can recognize that there's still a job to do, and they got to allow the group to coordinate and try to recover the situation. And that is not something that is easily found these days, because the truth is, most people watching this video can probably recount multiple situations where something like that has happened. I mean, even in games without these harsh rule sets, you've probably been there when a member of your org, corp, guild, whatever, has gone into full meltdown, and everyone just had to put everything on pause while such and such went and vented their, emotions. Often, another thing which can be overlooked, and something that you really want to look for in your members, is work ethic. Now, some people might say work ethic in a video game, ? But the truth is, when you're dropping in on someone else's server, and this is not our own Scum server, this is someone else's server that ends up being very popular in the Scum community. We all drop in on this server together. We start with nothing, and we have to build up to become an efficient base rating unit. That takes work, that takes time, that takes effort, and that takes a heck of a lot of jogging around through the forest to build up all these weapons, these vehicles, these resources that we need to do these things. And you need the right sort of people for that thing. You don't want someone who's just like, oh, well, just let me know, and then I'll just show up whenever we're doing activities. You want someone who participates in the building of that team into a fighting unit, right? Sometimes that's something that, a lot of people think, oh, well, that's an officer's job. That's not our job. It's everybody's job. It takes, you just can't sit there and wait for the team to kind of get you to the championship game and then say, okay, I'm ready to play now. No, you have to participate. You have to, be there, helping build everybody up and get everything coordinated. There's a lot of effort that goes into the buildup, which a lot of people might think, oh, well, that, the officers are just going to provide me with, the means to to do these things, but otherwise I've got other things to do, so I'm just gonna let them do their thing, and once it's all set up and done, then I'll show up. That's not the type of person that you really want as a member of your team. One of the biggest problems that a lot of us face personally in playing video games is that we tend to default towards being solo gamers. Even in MMOs, we tend to kind of coordinate our activities to our own liking, our own timetable, and that's not altogether a bad thing. We have to certainly foster our own development within a video game, and there's a lot of people out there who've bought their own ships, who have their own ambitions. They might be part of an org, but they have their own things that they want to do as well, and having an org that kind of understands and respects that is not a bad thing. There certainly is room for just doing what you want to do within the game, but at the same time, an org that fosters teamwork and creates these kind of environments for players, when you're exposed to this sort of thing on a continuous basis, when you're constantly seeing, oh, we've got activities going on, we're going out there together and we're doing these things, when solo gamers kind of get exposed to this sort of thing on a regular basis, they can often, they can become much more teamwork oriented for the experience. A lot of them just have never experienced teamwork on this level, and so when it does show up, they'll all of a sudden go, oh, okay, this is actually fun, this is actually interesting, this is not what I expected it to be. I can actually be part of a successful fighting unit and enjoy that experience. And that's kind of the kind of, it's such a corny term, but it's kind of the personal growth that you want to foster through, the activities that you coordinate with your team. Now, certainly coordinating these activities in Star Citizen is a challenge, to say the very least right now. But the truth is that there are other games that you can use to kind of foster this type of development and this type of teamwork that will definitely pay dividends in the future. And it's something worth looking at, and it's been one of the cornerstones of Scum's gaming since pretty much the beginning. Anyways, something to think about. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.